Argonauts put quarterback Shedeur Sanders on their negotiation list. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders, one of the more polarizing figures to come out of U.S. college football in years, could be destined for the Toronto Argonauts. The son of former NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders has been placed on the negotiation list of the Argos, the Canadian Football League club, announced on Wednesday. Despite being touted by some as a high first-round pick in the 2025 National Football League draft, the electric young Sanders, who threw for 147 touchdowns over a 4-year NCAA career with Jackson State and Colorado and rushed for 17 more, plummeted all the way to the 5th round and wasn't even the first quarterback selected by the Cleveland Browns. Now, numerous sources are reporting that, with training camp underway, the Browns are already looking beyond both the 23-year-old Sanders and third-round pick Dillon Gabriel as their possible QB of the future and have their eyes instead on Clemson's Cade Klubnik with the first pick in the 2026 draft. There's even talk that with veterans Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett also in the congested Cleveland QB room, Sanders won't even make the team. The defending Grey Cup champion Argos already have former CFL Most Outstanding Player Chad Kelly, 31, as their starting QB, though he has been recovering from an injury since the end of the 2024 season, while veteran Nick Arbuckle guides the offense. But the possibility of adding the uber-talented Sanders, whose skill set may be better suited to the CFL, would no doubt be a major shot in the arm for the Argonauts' lagging attendance figures. In a move that sent subtle ripples through the gridiron world, the Toronto Argonauts quietly added a high-profile name to their CFL negotiation list: Shedeur Sanders, the electrifying quarterback and son of football royalty, Deion Coach Prime Sanders. To the casual fan, this may seem like a curious formality, a clerical oddity buried in a seldom referenced league procedure. But to those who watch the game's tectonic plates shift, the implications are far more fascinating. And it's an interesting, too, because the time shift changed 2 week signs. It was a little different. It went from 1-4-10 to 1-4-10 in 2-5 seconds. It's not just a name on a list. It's a whisper of possibility, a stroke of audacity from a franchise with its eyes on more than just the CFL playoffs. The CFL's secret weapon, the negotiation list. In the Canadian Football League, teams can claim exclusive negotiation rights to up to 45 players who aren't currently in the league. The names aren't always public, but occasionally, in a strategic leak or league-mandated release, a few notable entries catch the spotlight. That's what happened when Shedeur Sanders' name surfaced. Toronto's addition wasn't a fluke. It was a calculated gamble, perhaps even a signal flare. The Argonauts, a team steeped in history and resilience, were betting on a future that might seem improbable today, but could be inevitable tomorrow. Shedeur Sanders, more than a name. At the University of Colorado, Shedeur has carved his identity beyond his last name. Sure, having Deion as a coach and father put him under a relentless microscope, but he responded not with entitlement, but with performance. Precision throws, mental toughness, and undeniable leadership. In a sea of dual-threat quarterbacks, Shedeur's pocket presence and IQ have drawn comparisons to NFL greats. He's calm in chaos, and his ability to read the field feels beyond his years. Still, despite his NFL aspirations, and they are very real, the professional football ecosystem is complex. Talent alone doesn't guarantee a perfect path. Injuries, team fit, draft order, and politics all play a role. And sometimes, a player's journey takes unexpected, even unconventional turns. That's where the Argonauts come in. A northward vision adding Sanders to their negotiation list is a long shot, sure, but it's a smart one. The CFL has long served as a launch pad, a rehab center, and a playground for some of football's most storied talents. Doug Flutie, Warren Moon, Cameron Wake, they all either began or revitalized their careers north of the border. The CFL's fast-paced, pass-heavy game is perfect for quarterbacks with vision and rhythm. Shedeur could thrive here. Imagine him under the lights at BMO Field taking snaps under a wide Canadian sky, orchestrating drives with the confidence of someone who's been forged in scrutiny. Imagine him not as an outlier, but a catalyst, a bridge between two football worlds. The Argonauts don't just want a quarterback, they want a spark. The Sanders effect beyond the field, Shedeur carries something else: brand power. He's part of the new breed of athletes who understand the business of sports, not just the game. Social media reach, cultural influence. He's fluent in it all. For Toronto, a market that loves stars but demands substance, Sanders would be a game changer. This isn't just about football. This is about relevance. The Argonauts' gamble is as much about vision as it is about victory. If somehow Shedeur were to take his talents to the CFL, even briefly, it would inject a new level of intrigue into the league. American media would follow, fans would tune in, and young players watching from college dorms or high school bleachers might see the CFL not as a consolation, but as a destination. Reality check and strategic hope. Let's be clear. Shedeur Sanders is aiming for the NFL. Every throw he makes in college is aimed at securing his spot on Sunday rosters, but football careers are rarely linear. Josh Freeman, Johnny Manziel, and Vince Young all ended up in the CFL at one point. The reasons vary, but the lesson remains: have a plan B. And if you're a CFL team, make sure that plan B involves high upside players who could be tempted under the right conditions. Toronto doesn't need Shedeur to commit today. They just need to be ready if the door cracks open. Conclusion: planting seeds for a new era. Putting Shedeur Sanders on the negotiation list isn't about immediate payoff. It's about planting a seed in fertile ground and watching what could grow. It's about understanding that football is more than playbooks and pads. It's narrative, personality, and the power of imagination. The Argonauts saw a future where a quarterback raised in the spotlight could rewrite his story on Canadian soil. Whether that future ever arrives remains unknown. But in listing Shedeur Sanders, Toronto reminded us that boldness still has a place in professional sports, and that sometimes a simple name on a list can carry the weight of a revolution. And who knows? Maybe someday soon the call comes. Maybe the fit isn't quite right in the NFL. Maybe Shedeur wants to play, not sit. Maybe Dion gives his blessing. Maybe he trades the gold of Colorado for the blue of Toronto. One thing's for sure: if that moment comes, the Argonauts will be ready.